So we're here with Danny Shattzkes of Gig Gear, and I had to stop by this guy's booth because check it out. We got fucking roadie gloves. Roadie gloves.
That's right.
Danny, talk to me about these gloves.
All right. Gig gloves are exactly that. They're
He's going to take the mic out of me.
Listen, this is what I do, man. Gig gloves are work gloves designed specifically for roadies and actually all other production professionals. And the idea is very simple. Most people working in production, roadies included, are probably going to some hardware store, Home Depot or the like, and buying whatever they think is best off the shelf. Very often it's gardening gloves, mechanics gloves, construction gloves. The problem is those gloves are designed for those industries. So when you're working and you're wearing those gloves, inevitably every few minutes you have to pull your gloves off and put them back on. Pull them off, put them on. You leave your hand exposed to injury, you misplace your gloves, you lose one. It's the wrong glove for the job. A work glove that you have to take off to do half your work is not the right glove for the job. So I invented gig gloves, which are work gloves designed for production professionals and roadies, with the idea that from the moment you put them on to do your work, you don't have to take them off. So on the back of the hand, you've got impact and abrasion protection covering the fingers and the back of the hand. Underneath is a mesh material that allows sweat and moisture to just evaporate out. So let's say unlike leather gloves where your hands get sweaty and gross inside and they start to stink, that will not happen with gig gloves. A wrist cuff for stability, padded grip protection on the palm side, and extra reinforcement over here. And then, here's the kicker, you have access to your first 3 fingers. So all the fine motor work that you need to do, that in other cases you might have to take your gloves off for, you could do with the gloves on. And even while your fingers are out, they're still covered and protected from behind, unlike fingerless gloves. And those people, they get their fingers beat up, like right above where the stitches are. And lastly, let me just show you this. Even without taking your fingers out, our gloves will work with a touch screen right through the fabric. Now everybody will know my code, but whatever. So
That's sick.
there's practically nothing that you can't do with the gloves on. And if you're a roadie, your hands are your livelihood. And so if you're using the wrong glove, or if you're not using any gloves at all, you're putting your hands at risk in a bad way, and you may end up not being able to do your job. And it's just wrong. So we've got 3 different versions. I'm wearing what's called our Onyx Line, and those are all black, and those are designed for people who either just like the all-black crew look, or for those people that actually are working during a live performance and they kind of need to be invisible to the audience. Our originals are the same exact glove, but they have the high contrast yellow, and that's designed for people who very often production workers work in low light environments, or sometimes roadies, like during a show or whatever, they're backstage or whatever, and the lights are very dim. So this is an extra safety visibility feature, to make sure people don't put things down on your hands. And lastly, we have our Thermo Gig Gloves. Thermo Gig Gloves have all the same features with one added one. Inside is an internal layer of fleece. And so these are for people that are working, maybe loading in and out from the cold, or if you're working an outdoor show or festival. Very often, if it's an outdoor show, most likely during the showtime, it's going to be nice outside. But roadies, you're loading in the morning and you're setting up when it's cold, and then at night it gets cold again when you're tearing down or doing, at the end of the show, whatever you got to do. So it gives you the option of not having to compromise. We call it the no compromise glove, so you don't have to compromise on protection, versatility, functionality, or warmth. And that's it, so it's just the right tool for the job. You wear the right glove for the job that you're doing.
I'd probably go with the yellow ones. I like a little flare.
There you go.
Look at that. I could wear them to hold the mic.
There you go.
Look at this. That's awesome,
Looks
man.
a hell of a lot better.
Those are super comfortable, and you're right, because a lot of times, I would walk into a hardware store and buy those big, leather things or whatever.
Right. And yeah, they might give you some protection, and that's fine. There are other protective gloves, and there are other, gloves that might give you different functionality, but you need something that's going to do all of it without you having to remove them. We get sideways glances at a show like AES because you got all these tech products, and it's so tech-oriented, and then people walk around and they see a glove company, and it's like, there's always that second look back, and so it brings people over, and as soon as they see it, they get it. And then when we explain to them really how they work, it's almost like the gloves kind of sell themselves.
Outstanding, man. Gig Gloves, check them out.
So it's www.gig-gear.com.